Hi everyone, this is a video about the options form for next session and how you go about completing it on the day with your interview, but also as preparation for your interview. We are asking all pupils in 4th and 5th year who are returning to school for next session to make 5 choices plus a reserve. We would ask pupils to consider selecting a subject from each of the faculties, Math, Science and Technology, Language and Society, and Arts, Culture and Health. This will ensure that pupils have a balanced curriculum. Pupils have to select 5 subjects in order of preference, with number 1 indicating the first choice for that person. In this example, the person has picked maths at higher level. They would also like to do biology at higher level, computing science at higher level. They're currently studying National 4 English, however, so for next session they have been recommended to study National 5. They're also keen on PE, which they would like to take at higher level and are currently studying National 5. Candidate would like to consider history as a reserve choice at higher level, and it's really important that we ensure our young people consider not just their first 5 choices, but also the reserve choice. We will endeavour to give all of our young people their first 5 choices. Where this is not possible, we will ask them to consider their first 4 choices and the reserve choice. So it's really important you give due consideration to your 5 choices plus your reserve. For pupils in S4, it's largely accepted that pupils in S4 going into S5 should select 5 of their current 7 subjects as far as possible. This is particularly true in the current climate, where there is a large amount of certification uncertainty, and we also think it is important that young people attain as highly as possible in 5th year, where they can build on the prior attainment. 6th year, for those of us, or those of the pupils who return, is quite often about then improving on the breadth and the depth or the experience or alternative experiences that 6th year can bring. Pupils should consider looking at the notes for each subject and making sure that they have referred to the recommendations, which can be found in the recent tracking report, and also their target date in the recent tracking report, which will give the indication to them and parents of their potential in that subject. Pupils should also note asterisks in the notes column for departmental recommendations, but also double asterisks for courses which require an application form, as places in these courses are limited. Generally speaking, these courses take place in our vocational training centre. It's really important that young people make the best effort in applying for these courses to ensure that they have the best chance of securing a place in the vocational training course. Pupils may also consider applying for Friday College. A recommendation there is that they assume until they get a place that they haven't got a place, and that they pick 5 plus a reserve from the St Woden's option column. This will then allow them to have a level of certainty around the subjects that they're going to get, and then if they get into college, then it is a bonus, and they can adjust their subjects accordingly. Some subjects have a priority over pupils who have already studied this subject. For example, health and food technology. Moving down the options form here, college options including foundation apprenticeships. Again, an application form must be completed for these courses. For pupils going into S6, you are asked to select 5 choices plus a reserve, and you are allowed to make 1 choice, as the form shows, from the S6 options at the bottom of this page. Current S4 pupils, this section at the bottom is not necessarily for you. And that pretty much takes us through our options form and how you complete your options form. We would recommend that you complete this working with parents prior to your options interview so that you've got a good idea of what you would like to take prior to that interview, but also to show that you have looked at the entry requirements, your recommendations, and considered your career path in general. We would encourage young people going into 5th year to think of this as being a 2-year journey. Often it is about what you have at the end of 6th year rather than what you have at the halfway point at the end of 5th year.